when you think about people who are established, who've got careers, who have their own ambitions. And one of the ambitions of Kiernan Forbes, a.k.a., was to be an Idols judge. He featured very strongly, of course, in 2013 as part of Season 9, alongside the other judges at the time, Gareth Cliff, Unathi Msengana, and Randall Abrahams, who is, of course, amongst other things, now also Prime Media International Vice President, who joins us now on the line, a former Idols judge himself. Randall, I imagine you were shattered, as were indeed many people, when you heard this news. You are a walking Bible, I suppose, of knowledge about music in South Africa. What will AKA's influence be in time over South African hip-hop?
Thanks very much, Mongani. I think shattered is absolutely the right word, but I think we also mustn't forget that this happens so often in South Africa to people we may not know, and we need to do something about it. We all need to do something about it. It has to stop. I think, yes, absolutely. I was watching Oskido speak and saying just how important Kiernan was to South African hip-hop. I think the one challenge that you have as a hip-hop artist especially is to, on the one hand, have hits, and on the other hand, to maintain your street cred. It's really, really difficult musically to do that, because the minute that you start being successful and getting to the type of level that Super Mega was able to reach, people in the, artists in the hip-hop fraternity or people listening to your music get to think that, it's now about making sure that you win awards and that you get airplay on radio. So to maintain your cred, if you look at artists like Biggie or Tupac, is always a very, very fine line, and he was able to do that. I think that away from hip-hop, the way that his music, if you listen to the first record, Alter Ego, it's certainly very, very different from the type of music he would make with Burner, like All Eyes on Me and Baddest. And certainly, the latest work that he's been doing with Nasty C on Lemons, there's definitely been an evolution, and he was definitely always looking to adapt, to change, to be aware of what trends are, to be leading trends. It wasn't just a case of, well, this is kind of me and this is what I do. Oskido, I watched Oskido talk about the two of them working together, talking about music, talking about life. And I think that, musically, it's so important for any artist to continue to develop, because otherwise it just tends to be, you're playing the hits, as it were.
Same old, same old. I mean, obviously one of his big ambitions was to make a significant breakthrough in America, for example, in that market. We know he's been nominated for BET Awards. We know he was nominated for an MTV Europe Award. It's just too soon, man, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, again, breaking into the US hip-hop market is just so difficult, because it's almost as though, similarly with R&B, that you have to be from America in order to make it. But I think that, again, all the artists that he's worked with, from Kuli to Nasty C to Younger to Dominant, the Nigerian artists. I think the other thing we mustn't forget about him and his legacy is a lot of those hits and the work that he'd done with Nigerian artists to bring that kind of sound onto the South African airwaves, to make it kind of, dominant in terms of South African music, is really an important part of his legacy.
Appreciate your reflections, Randall Abrahams, a former Idols judge, and of course the Vice President of Prime Media International.
Current events, developing stories,
tough questions.
Your voice making a difference.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.